Yeah, we are just getting absolutely hammered right now with snow. A good portion of the snow is going to be falling between now and about 10 and 11 o'clock this morning. 8 to 12 inches of snow by the time this is all said and done, right around midnight tonight. So that means, again, about 2 to 5 inches of this falling as we're heading through about sunrise, maybe another 2 to 5 inches this morning, and then some additional amounts as we head into this evening. So the area in pink, that's kind of the jackpot zone, if you will, if you like snow. That's going to be pretty much the entire DMV until you get way up there toward about Baltimore and then down south toward Fredericksburg and Orange. North, that's where we're kind of far away from the track. South, we're closer to the storm track, closer to some warm air, and that's where we could get some sleet and icy mix. That could cut down on totals. The snow, some of the heaviest now coming through Fairfax, Burke in Virginia. Here in the district, we're starting to get in on that heavier band Warrenton. You are getting absolutely smashed with heavy snow right now. You can see here, that's some of the darkest colors on our legend. And there's more where that came from. You don't usually see this, but look down here to the south. Some of these yellows popping up, those are extreme snowfall rates, potentially eventually mixing with sleet down Roanoke Way and as you head toward Norfolk, but there's plenty of moisture feeding in from the Gulf of Mexico with this, so there is no shortage of snow to come out of this for us. And it's going to be all snow here in the district and points north, northeast, and northwest. Limited visibility, snow-covered roads, difficult travel, that's all going to be in the forecast for today, and that's why we have the weather impact alert. That is out. Now I'm going to toss things on over to Caitlin McGrath. She's got our storm timeline to keep you ahead of this morning.
Packed Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
All right, the snow is coming down fast and furious now, and again, can't show you this enough. 8 to 12 inches of snow possible here across the district and pretty much across the entire DMV. You get far enough north up toward Frederick, Jarrettsville, Baltimore, that's where those totals begin to drop off, not because of a mixture or anything like that. In fact, this is where we get far enough away from the storm track that the dry air starts to take over. So it's going to be a little less intense and a little less in duration up north. Now down south, this is where we get the mixture of sleet, freezing rain, and snow from Fredericksburg back to Culpeper and Orange, where they've already picked up a solid amount, up to about 4 inches of snow, 5, even some localized 6-inch amounts already. And already, last time I checked out on the weather terrace, we had about 3 inches of snow here in the district, and that's not a big surprise because some of the heaviest of the activity now moving in from Seven Corners to Ballston, up to Georgetown, Cleveland Park, so basically Arlington all the way up into northwest D.C. East side is getting it a little bit lighter, but still, I mean, we're just kind of grasping at straws with this. This is still a good amount of snow that's coming down. Goes all the way out into Prince George's County now. Dunkirk starting to get involved in some of the at least moderate to potentially heavy snow. Again, you see that big blue dark band kind of bisecting the district in Alexandria and Arlington. That's that heavy type of what we call convective banding that's occurring with this. That's where you usually get some of those more excessive snow totals, as it's kind of almost like a thunderstorm complex. And in this case, without the lightning and thunder, but that's where you kind of get a little zhuzh, if you will, of the extra energy, creating some heavier snow totals coming down 1 inch or 2 inches per hour. Goes back to Warrenton, Manassas as well. And we're not done yet. There's more coming in, arcing from the south and west. And then there's another backside of the storm that comes at us for this afternoon, late into this evening. So in terms of snow totals today, again, the heaviest falls through the morning rush. After that begins to lighten up a little bit, but still this morning, limited visibility, snow-covered roads, difficult travel. If you don't have to get out, a lot of the kids, if not all the kids, have the day off today. Don't get out. It's a good time to just enjoy a hot cup of cocoa and tune into WSA9 and WSA9 Plus, our streaming app, and follow along with us with the storm. Winter storm warning continues until 1 a.m. early Tuesday morning. And that's again for that 8 to 12 inch amount. Some areas could even exceed that potentially, as Luray's at 4.5 inches already. Stafford is at 3. Page, Virginia, down south and west along the mountains, 6 inches of snow. Arcola at 2.6, Stafford at 4.1, and we will only add to these totals and in a lot of spots very quickly. And the district will continue to really stack up some numbers as well as we're now getting into that heavier snow. Now I'm going to toss things on over to Caitlin McGrath. We are tracking the timeline of the storm now with our team coverage. Yeah, and for today, it looks like some of the biggest snows that we have seen in at least 2 or 3 years, actually almost to the day. I believe it was January 3rd of 2022. That was the last time we had over 5 inches of snow over at DCA. And I know that I've been tracking storms here in the DMV since back in 2012. There's only been a handful of times, really, that we've been, measuring the snowfalls in yardsticks and measuring them in double digits. So a notable storm coming through and certainly travel impactful. This is why the weather impact alert has been issued, and it's been issued for days now for today. 8 to 12 inches of snow, area in pink. So we're kind of in the jackpot zone, if you will, the hammer zone, as us meteorologists like to call it, in terms of snowfall here in the district. Really coming through now. Pentagon up to downtown D.C., and then you see down south and west, there's another batch of snow that looks like it's pretty darn heavy from Warrenton, south of Manassas, Quantico. We've already tallied up some 4 to 6 inch amounts early this morning, and then some somewhat lighter amounts up into central Maryland, but they're going to get theirs too. That continues to push north and east up toward Prince George's County, Montgomery County. A big feed of Gulf of Mexico moisture involved with this storm system. So heavy snow this morning. Should taper a bit toward 10, 11 o'clock. Limited visibility. You're going to have to plan on all kinds of travel problems. Again, weather impact alert lasts all the way into tomorrow morning. Now I'm going to toss things on over to Caitlin McGrath, who's tracking the storm hour by hour. Yeah, and this snowstorm is just really kind of getting underway, and there's going to be much more where this came from. Some folks in Virginia are already seeing 6 inches of snow, but some of those spots may change over to sleet and freezing rain for a time today, so that may cut down on some of those totals. But 8 to 12 inches of snow here in the district, Leesburg, Warrenton, Winchester, Dunkirk, so pretty much the entire DMV. A little bit less off to the north with about a 4 to 8 inch band up toward Baltimore. But the 95 corridor looking like an absolute mess. That's why we have pretty much all the schools closed across the area. A lot of businesses and offices, I'm sure, will be closed as well today. So if you don't have to get out there, I'd say don't do it. It's been a good dose of snow after midnight last night, and I think that we'll continue to see some of this all the way through about 10, 11 o'clock this morning. Still seeing a pretty good band south of the district here towards the Pentagon, Reagan National, working our way into northern Virginia, places like Alexandria, into Arlington, then back to Warrenton and just west of La Plata. Look at some of these yellows here. This is not even on the scale of our snowfall because it is just that heavy. It's off the scale. So you don't often see these yellows on the map, but that's a solid 1 to 2 inches an hour coming down there. And then here along the north side of the Beltway, some heavier amounts as well. We're going to continue to track more of this moving in from the south and west. Lots of moisture here. So all day we are under that weather impact alert and a winter storm warning. Limited visibility, snow-covered roads, difficult travel, morning commute, and the afternoon rush as well as another band of snow may move in. And we are tracking that right here with Caitlin. She's here for team coverage this morning. Thanks for waking up early. How are we timing things out?
WUSA9 Weather Impact Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
That's right. We are under a weather impact alert today into early tomorrow. We've got a brand new updated snowfall totals map as of 42 minutes ago at 6 a.m. 8 to 12 inches of snow expected here across the district, basically from Frederick sandwiched all the way down to just about Culpeper. Now to the north, a little bit less as we're a little bit farther away from the storm track, and down to the south from Culpeper southbound, that area in blue, the 4 to 8 and even 2 to 4 as you get over the northern neck and extreme southern Maryland and into portions of Virginia on the eastern shore. That's going to be more so a wintry mix and snow situation. So that can be hazardous, of course, in its own right. So let's go ahead, take a look at the Doppler radar. And, Jess was saying out right just down the street from the station, over 5 inches of snow already. And I'm not surprised. Take a look at all the dark blue that's coming across the district, 695, 295 up to Howard University, the National Mall, just getting absolutely slammed with snow right now. You don't often see a yellow here intermixed with the blue from Warrenton to Quantico. That's a signature of some extremely heavy snow. That's even off the charts of our Doppler radar legend here. So some big snows coming down 1 to 2+ inches in an hour, potentially south and west of the district in Maryland. Some of these totals here, again, looking like they could be anywhere up to about a ½ inch an hour. And again, this is kind of the point of focus from Fredericksburg all the way to Culpeper. Eventually mixes over to some sleet and freezing rain down toward Ashland, but that's kind of outside of our general area here in the DMV. Again, one slug of moisture, the heavy stuff this morning, a little bit of a lull that gets here during the midday. And then there's another round of snow from Cincinnati to St. Louis. That potentially could impact us for the afternoon commute on into this evening. So really no good time to drive today, that's for sure. Good time to clean up, though, would be probably around lunchtime, late morning, early afternoon. That's when the heaviest of the snow will taper, at least for a time, before coming back at us with another round of steady snow into the afternoon and evening. Limited visibility, snow-covered roads, difficult travel, all of those today. And that's why we have the winter storm warning that continues until the wee hours of tomorrow morning. Now, the heaviest snow may end by about midnight, but then blowing snow overnight. So things really going to be a mess all the way into tomorrow morning. Snow in total. So this is what you're going to wake up to tomorrow morning. By the way, we updated this graphic, this map, with the newest data here at 4 a.m. So still pretty much the standing totals that we've been expecting over the past, 12, 24 hours. Our forecast has remained pretty much steady here. 2 to 4 inches in the area in lighter blue to the north as you head into northern Montgomery up into Frederick County. But again, those main counties here, southern Montgomery, places like Bethesda, down into Prince George's, as well as southern Loudoun, Fairfax. That's all 4 to 6 inches. Could have some localized amounts a little bit higher even than that, down towards, say, Waldorf, Culpeper. If you don't mix it with too much sleet, that's where some of the heaviest precipitation is going to fall. So that means there could be some localized 8-inch amounts down that way. Satellite and radar together. There it is, as I mentioned, down toward Lynchburg, already starting to see some flakes trying to approach. The main thrust of the system still across the Ohio Valley. You see it's kind of a snow to mixed to rain. The first part of our system is kind of a 1-2 punch. That is going to be pretty much all snow for us. Maybe south, there could be some rain and sleet. The second part, which is going to be an ice to rain situation, that will come tomorrow evening into early Thursday. So we do have, for part one, a winter storm warning that's in place for the entire area, except for areas north like the West Virginia Panhandle, northern Maryland, Frederick County, extreme northwestern Virginia. That's where a winter weather advisory is in place, so it'll be a little bit less there. So for today and tomorrow, under a weather impact alert, again, punch number one is 2 to 6 inches of snow. That falls later today into tonight. Slick roads, school travel impacts. You know the drill here. That's what's been going on, and that will continue. And then ice to rain occurs thereafter, later Wednesday into Thursday. This weather impact alert is for life-threatening weather and also more of a nuisance or inconvenience. Both of those paired together right now, right near freezing here in the district, and temperatures, some of those below freezing across Virginia where that snow is going to fall first. And that means roads will get messy real quick. Now to time things out, I'm going to send things on over to Mary Marshall. And the timeline across the DMV on either side of about noontime. First flakes come down here in the district a little earlier south and west, a little later north and east. Mary Marshall's here with me for team coverage on how much you're going to see by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. That's coming up in 4 minutes. All right, and Mary Marshall joins me for team coverage of this significant snow, plowable snow, heading our way for later today. And you see there on our sky cam in the foreground, of course, Wisdom likes to call it the big pencil. That is the Washington Monument, and clear shot. But things are going to be changing as we head into this afternoon. Time to do those stretches and think ahead. Maybe you want to just hire somebody to clear some of this stuff if you're not in that good functioning working shape. But if you are, you want to take plenty of breaks. And again, use your legs, not your back when you're doing that shoveling. And also, yes, we have heart attacks that occur in this type of weather. You got to take it slow. Take those breaks when you're out there. Just make sure you don't get hurt. That's the most important thing. But you will be clearing some snow likely late tonight into tomorrow. 4 to 6 inches of snow here in the dark blue, light blue north and northwest. That's your lighter amounts of 2 to 4. Either way, it's a plowable an impactful storm. And that's our latest totals as of 4 a.m. this morning. So about 2 hours, 20 minutes ago, put that map together. Satellite and radar, there's that snow approaching from Charlottesville to Lynchburg, Roanoke, already starting to see it. And even more where that came from down in the Ohio Valley. So let's time things out for you. Snow timeline, 6 a.m. to noon today. That's when the snow develops south and west with flurries in the metro. Starts getting bad, noon to 6 p.m. Could see a little mixing possible, especially south. Interstates should be generally treated and okay, but some of those side roads become slippery with air travel delays. That's when we could see a solid 1 to 2, 2 to 4 inches of snow with an additional 1 to 2 coming this evening. And midnight to 6 a.m. light snow and flurries. A leftover snow to mix early tomorrow. Winter storm warnings out for the entire area except for some advisories off to the north to rain. So a big old mess coming for Tuesday into Wednesday. I think the most impactful part is going to be Tuesday midday afternoon into Wednesday early morning. After a quiet day today, we could stack up anywhere between 4 and 6 inches of snow. This is our latest thinking. You see there at 4 a.m. 2 hours ago. I just updated this map. This is the latest thinking on how much we're going to see tomorrow midday through tomorrow afternoon into early Wednesday morning. You may wake up on Wednesday, the snow may be done, but again, you're going to have the problems to deal with on the ground already. 2 to 4 inches as you head well north, especially say north of 7270. And then system number 2 could have ice to rain. For now, nice and quiet on the EarthCam network, but in preparation for this next system coming in, winter storm watches area wide, south and west though. Even some winter storm warnings posted for snow to potentially even some ice. Could see up to 2/10 of an inch of ice as well. 45 for today. Nice quiet day overall. Nice quiet this morning. 35 and some clouds going into the 40s this afternoon. Again, we're going to be timing out that snow, ice, rain all coming up here in the next 48 to 72 hours, Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday. That's in about 15 minutes.
Jonathan, we've already issued a weather impact alert to get people at home, you know, what they need to know.
Get them ready.
Sure.
That's right.
We need to know the exact timing so that I know when to start being afraid.
Yes, when you can go to sleep and then not wake up until it's done, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Okay, well, all right, here's the deal. Today's the day to prepare. Now, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, into early Wednesday, one round, and then there could be an ice to rain round. So the first round is snow. The second round is ice to rain that will come later Wednesday into Thursday. So this is really kind of a long fuse system here, and I've been poring over the data all weekend long, following each model run as it's been coming in, and these are my latest thoughts. 4 to 6 inches of snow here in the darkest blue. Now, this is out of the first wave. This will come tomorrow afternoon, perhaps really developing, especially south and west, as early as tomorrow morning midday. But from D.C. north and east, I think it's more so tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night. So the dark blue is 4 to 6. There could be the plus, if you will. It looks like that would be greatest, say, Culpeper southbound, where there could be some isolated, potentially up to about 8-inch amounts. And then north is going to be less, say, Gaithersburg, up county, up into the mountains toward Frederick. That's going to be more so of a probably 2 to 4 inch fall at this point. That's how it looks. Things may still change. We still do have new data that's going to be rolling in. But again, we will be tracking it closely as we get closer to tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow afternoon through Wednesday morning, that's going to be kind of our main impact point here. But again, some spots it could be as early as tomorrow morning, tomorrow midday, south and west. Snow develops. It could mix with sleet, especially south of the district. 2 to 6 inches with slick roads, delays. We're talking travel delays and potentially some school delays and closures, especially tomorrow afternoon. There could be some early dismissals potentially, and then maybe even some closures by Wednesday. But again, don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Winter storm watch is already posted for Tuesday into Wednesday for the entire area, where it's a little more of a certainty here. Culpeper south and west, where it's a little bit closer also in time frame. That's where a winter storm warning has been issued for that same time frame as well. Again, tomorrow into Wednesday, but we're not done just yet. After Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, another system could be coming at us. So it's a very active pattern. Kind of get shots of systems coming through. The latest one actually coming down to our south after one rolling to our north. If you remember this weekend on Saturday with some of that ice to rain that we had. It wasn't a whole lot. But again, that one went to our north mainly. This one going to our south with mainly rain. And then there's going to be one likely going in the middle here. That's going to impact us for tomorrow and another one after that. 38 degrees right now. It feels like 32. EarthCam network, it's quiet, so good for commuting in and out of work today. Winds out of the north-northwest at 5 to 10. Let's go ahead and time this thing out. Today is fine. Temperature is going to be in the 40s. Get the salt down, the brine down, all that. Now, as we head into tomorrow, again, as I said, earlier south and west, but then into tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, starts getting through here in the district, Baltimore, Annapolis, all the way through 3 a.m. early Wednesday morning. By the time you're waking up Wednesday, most of this is probably already gone, but then more rolls in. Notice the pink, that's the ice changing to rain as we head into late Wednesday, early Thursday morning as temperatures continue to rise. Doesn't mean we're going to have a warm week, but I think temperatures will get above freezing Wednesday night into Thursday. So the weather impact alert for tomorrow into Wednesday morning. That may have to be extended, though, into Wednesday afternoon, depending on that ice situation later in the day. Temperatures in the 30s this morning, 40s for this afternoon. Great day to prepare today. Again, Tuesday, Wednesday, problem spots. And then for Friday, finally for Valentine's Day, quiets down just in time for the sweethearts. Now I'm going to toss things on over to Lindsay Nance. We've got a traffic impact alert all day today.